I was over here, I don't know what I was doing. I was putting our inks together and I realized it's a little bit past 10. So let's see, what time is it really? I have my watch off. Anyway, it says it's a little bit past 10. Hey, Karen. Karen, I'm so excited. I'm going to the post office later and sending out your awesome print, which is boxed up, so otherwise I would show it to everybody. And Sandra, how are you? I can't believe it's been a week. I feel like this week has been so long, and I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in a long time. So anyway, I'm glad you're all there. Hey, Karen, the other Karen's on, and Terry. Okay, we just gotta wait for my mom, and there she is. Okay, good. We can get started. I'm so excited for today because I realized over the weekend, so what I did this weekend was I kind of checked out on doing a lot of work. So I'm working all the time, and I just decided to just put that on pause and paint. And I was so happy. Hi, Christina. So I was so happy to spend hours and hours in the studio painting. And one of the things I realized is that I absolutely love painting with acrylic inks. And I wanted to do a little demo on that after I show you some of my progress, but I wanted to show you a demo because I will be doing acrylic inks in my upcoming class, but I wanted to show you some of my favorites today so that in case you wanted to get ahead and buy some of them or experiment, you can check out my favorite colors. So I have them all here. And hi, Roxanne. So I have, let's see, really 2 or 3 paintings that I am continually painting on, and I usually spread them, one on a desk and one on an easel, and just paint a little bit here and then paint a little bit there, then go pull some weeds and go back. So I wanted to show you my progress. And the first one is my Tomorrow's Hope. Okay, so she is so big, you guys. I was trying to figure out how to show you the whole thing. And let's see, this is the top part. I'm gonna try and get it not so crooked. It's like backwards and upside down doing this. So she is pretty special. And what's so exciting is that she has already been sold. So luckily, because of shelter in place, I won't be able to ship it for a little bit because I want to get a scan made. But I'm so happy. She's almost done. I spent a lot of time on the sides. Let me show you guys some of the sides. Still got to do the bottom sides. That's so cool. I'm trying to get it all in here, but wait till you see the top even. Like, okay, so still got some work to do there, but I wanted to share a story with you, so I'm going to get a little bit closer so you guys can see this. Okay, so right here, hold on a second. Let me just position this. Sorry about that. You guys all want to throw up because of this. Okay, I'm good. She's on my knee. Okay, so here's what's really awesome that the universe really just helped me out with this painting. I had left this area green. If you can remember some of the posts that I've been posting, there wasn't really anything in this section. It was the green leaves, which I usually don't really paint these kind of wider leaves like that. I just did it, and it's been there for a long time. And when I sold the painting, my sweet collector said to me, can you do me a favor and add some Lily of the Valley in your painting? Just tuck it in somewhere, just a little bit for me, because it reminds her of her mom, which I thought was so sweet and beautiful. It touched me so much. So as I was doing this, I thought, okay, where am I gonna tuck in some Lily of the Valley? And then my good friend Melissa said, just put it right in the green leaves. And so when I researched Lily of the Valley, which I wasn't that familiar with the plant because I don't have any, I saw that this is what's so awesome, is that the Lily of the Valley's leaves are these exact same leaves. Now, I don't know about you, but I got goosebumps when that happened. So I was so happy because it fit perfectly. So I put a sprig there, here, and here, and I'm gonna go in and put a little bit of shading, but I was so happy that that worked out. And so anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys because I thought that was really cool. And let's see, what else have I done on here? Let's see if we can see her cute face. Hold on. She's so big. She's 30. Hold on, I'm gonna stand up. Whoopsie. She's 30 by 24 inches. So that was the top. So I'm gonna do a little slow movement and then I'll post hopefully the whole thing tomorrow. So there she is in her glory. So anyway, I was super happy about that one. So I'm gonna put her down and show you the other painting that I have been working on, which is my Serenity piece, much smaller, so I can kind of just hold this one right on my lap. Here we go. Here we go. Oopsie. Okay. So this one is, how big is this one? I think this is 18 by 24. Okay, so smaller, more manageable. I can pick it up, hold it. I still can't get it all in there. Here we go. All right, sorry about that, you guys. Still figuring it all out. Okay. So I've been working on this one. I'm not as far as long as Tomorrow's Hope is pretty much done. I've got some few little areas to work on and then she'll be finished. But on here, what I really concentrated on this weekend was this flower and this flower. So if you go back a couple posts on this picture, this orange was really a lot, it was brighter. It was a brighter orange. And I just kept looking at it and I kept thinking, I'm distracted. I kept getting distracted by how bright it was. And so then I started working with my acrylic inks and I really started to tone it down, which I'm gonna show you guys today. But what I did was, okay, we went off for a second, but hang on. So I started adding a little bit of white and more neutral colors. So I'm really liking the direction of this heart and still keeping, there's an L-O-V-E that's in here. It's upside down that I might, you know, bring out a little bit with some pencil work. I'm not 100%. And then I started working on this blue flower here. You can see I wrap it around the sides. And with some white ink, I started doing those white lines that I had on the other piece that I'm really liking. That's like just a fun little element to add. You know, it just brings some light and whimsy to the piece. And then over here, okay, here's where I'm struggling. You guys can let me know what your thoughts are. Okay. So some things happen with my paintings where I get a little bit, there's something that bugs me and I'm not 100% what it is. So I just let that go. I just let it rest. So I just sort of did what I wanted to on here and I didn't really work too much on it. I worked over here over the last couple days. But it's still bugging me. And the reason it's bugging me is I feel like I'm not focusing on my lotus, on my eyes going to this darker color. So I'm not thinking that I might have to paint over it, but then part of me wants to paint over it. So I'm thinking, should I make this a light blue? I really love how the light blue looks on the darker blue. I don't think I want to do purple. I had a lot of problems with my purple last time, and I know I don't want to do this light orange. So anyway, I'm on the fence. I might make it pink, or I might leave it and just keep tweaking around it, and then I'll decide if I love it or not. So you guys can vote and let me know what you think. And the great thing about acrylics, as you know, is you can just paint right over it again. I wanted to show you some more details on the bottom. Let's see, woo! Okay, so here, I was doing some more of the white lines, and then I did some little tiny dots. And then over here, just really working with the white, and it will eventually wrap to the sides. I haven't done all those details yet. So anyway, you guys let me know what you think, and I'll read the comments. And then here's a couple of the sides. So as I'm working on my piece, I always want to add a little bit, like a little bit to each side. And whoopsie, here we are. I want to add a little bit to each side so it's not a forgotten piece. So I like doing that as I go, and then sometimes I'll just, you know, start working on it right on the table. So I'm gonna flip you guys over, and I'm gonna do a little demo on my favorite inks and also how I apply them. So if you guys wanna experiment, and I'm trying to get this, it's so beautiful, you guys. We had this crazy rainstorm last night. It doesn't rain here after April, usually. And last night it poured so much. I loved it because my plants are gonna be so happy, and now the sun is out. It's awesome. And so Donna, you say pink. I knew, I'm thinking maybe pink too. All right, so hold on, here we go. This is a painting that was in progress, and I'm not done with it, and I keep going back to it. And hold on, I'm just gonna tighten this up here. I keep going back to it, but I wanted to use this as an example to show you guys how I love using my inks. So what I did was I took some chalk and I chalked in this flower here, and a little petal here, because I just wanted to show you what I'll do sometimes is when I'm working on a painting, I know I'm not finished. I don't know what I want to do. So it's always fun to bring inks into any layer. I always start with inks after my words, and then I always bring inks into it little bit by little bit. And it's just fun, you know, to me, it reminds me of like a watercolor. It's just fun to use. So some of my colors that I love, and I put some here on here. So I'm going to show you guys some of these colors. I'm going to be using this Amsterdam turquoise green. You can see that's a really pretty blue. I'm also going to be using the goldens. Okay, so the difference between these inks are, these ones are really called acrylic inks right on the label. And this brown brand is really popular, and Amsterdam is newer, I believe. And you used not to be able to find these as much, but you can find them both, I believe, on Blick, and you can probably find them on Amazon. And then I also really like the Golden High Flow. So to me, these are all the same. They're intermixed. They're the same fluidity. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So the Amsterdam is here, and the golden is here. And this is the white. I always use titanium white in everything I do. So you can tell it's like using watercolors. They're very fluid, and I really love working with these. I also like to use these to mix in with my thicker paints if I wanted to do that. But today I'm just going to show you only my inks, so I'm not going to confuse you too much. I'm also using this phthalo green. It's a blue shade. There's a whole bunch of different shades in here. And my absolute favorite color I think I like to paint with is this turquoise. And I made a mistake and I got the little bitty 1 ounce, but if you're new and you're starting out with inks, they go a long way. You'd be fine to get the little 1 ounce container and use those for my class, no problem, because they will go and last. I just, when I know there's a color I love, I always get a bigger bottle. And I wanted to show you guys this one. I'm not going to use it today, but this one is pretty awesome. It's a gold color, and what it does is it gives a little bit of a shine. I use this on my Tomorrow's Hope on her hair with a little bit of weight. So I brought this out because I wanted to show you this. Super cool. And if we have time, which it's only my time and your time to watch, but I might do a pink one over here. So I wanted to show you some of my pinks that I love too. So here's an Amsterdam pink that I'm completely out of. It's called Permanent Red. And you guys, I'll put all of these colors that I love in probably the YouTube video when I'll post that later, okay? So, or you can always just message me and I'll send you them. The other one that I love, okay, can you tell? Look how crazy this is. All right, the top is stuck. I use an X-Acto knife to get in there. And this is the Quinacridone Magenta. Okay, this is one of my absolute favorite colors. So if I had to pick two, and I could only pick two to go on an island, I'd pick these two. And I do not consider this a choice. This is a must-have. Okay, so there you go. Those are my two. So when I'm using the warm colors, I also love this flaming orange. Is that what it is? Yeah, this should be. Yep, flaming orange. And that's a really cool color. That one flower I was showing you guys on the Serenity piece is done with this, the pink and the white. Okay, so those are some of my inks that I love. And I use this palette paper. I just buy these pads, but you can put this on something that has a little bit of sheen to it, so even a piece of plastic, because you just don't want these to dry up. If I did them on a paper plate, look how cool that is. Woo! If I did it on a paper plate, it would just absorb it, and then it would be a waste of your inks. These inks will stay nice and fresh on here for a while. Oh my gosh, look at that. I love. It's a little shape. Okay, to work we go. And let me show you some of my brushes. When I'm working with inks, if you guys have seen some of my last few videos, you'll see I use my finger a lot. Love to use my fingers to blend. But I also have a few smaller brushes, and you can see the size. They're really great for little details, especially the white lines. I use this little small guy to get into little tiny corners, which I'll show you. And then when I'm blending and I don't want to use my fingers and I want to add some weight, I'll use this nice angled brush. This is a 1/2 inch, I believe. And I was going to look this up. When I go to look and order brushes, I'm overwhelmed because there's so many choices. So I might get another one of this brand, Connoisseur. And then this is just an old, look how beat up this one is. So anyway, all right, so to get started, I'm going to grab probably this size. This is a little bit of a round one. And the colors I'm going to go with are that awesome turquoise that I love. That just got blended in, so bear with me. I'm going to cheat and take it right out of the cap. Okay. And I also have a little bit of white on here. So I'm just going to go into these corners. So I don't know if you can tell, but I did a chalk drawing of a flower. And the reason I did chalk is because you can wipe the chalk right off. And it's okay if that chalk gets right on the, it mixed into the paint. It doesn't matter at all. It's because I always use white. It's just a little white. So I'm not using any water. I have no water around except to dunk this brush when I'm done. And I'm just going to go in. I'm going to work a little bit on the fast side so you can see if I need to blend. So right now I'm dipping into, actually let me put this over here so you can see how I'm, hopefully some of this is in the camera. Yeah. All right. So just dipping in, and I'm going to go around the outside of these petals, and I'm going to use this brush and kind of smush it around. Just smushing. The nice thing about acrylic inks is that they really are like a watercolor. If you like to paint with watercolor, probably would love using them here. And then every once in a while, I'll go dip into the white. I don't want my color to be exact the same all over. I like to have some variety. Okay, so it's hot in here today, so it's going to dry kind of on the fast side. But what I like to do is use my finger and just get in there and start mixing it into that layer that's below. I don't like, I guess what I was realizing is I'm not a big fan of seeing lots of brush strokes, and I really like to see what's underneath come through. The reason I love ink so much is because they're a little bit translucent. They're not thick. And if you use your finger, you can always go around some of these edges that are a little bit on the rough side that I just painted and use the small brush again. I'll show you guys that in a minute. So I'm blending into this blue that was already back here, and then some of this under layer is already starting to come through, which is kind of fun. I'm gonna dip my finger right into the white and just start blending. And you know, if you don't want to use your fingers, you just don't want to use your skin contact, there's barrier creams, and you could also use a sponge brush, one of these guys that you can go in. I don't know, I guess I like using my fingers because it's fun, but I know that it's probably not the best thing. So I'm using the stuff that's under, and I'm gonna go grab a skewer too, because then you can see, let's see if I have one handy. Oh yeah, I do. Perfect. So the skewer is great with the inks because you can pick up little tiny lines. Just little tiny lines that could add some interest down the road. So I've got some of my inks down here. I'm gonna maybe make it a little bit darker down here. And again, gonna hit my bottom, whoopsie, my bottom. Oh, I'm sure my mom's having a good laugh right now. I am just gonna rub some of this blue in here and grab some more white. And now I'm going to go in with that turquoise that I really like and go in the corners again. I just literally dunked that right into the bottle. I'm going to go over my petals and just keep blending away. That's how I get that deep, rich color, is there's a lot of, you know, little bits here and there, right? So it's not so flat. I'm just adding a little bit of that turquoise into some areas. And I'm not worried about what this flower is going to look like or you know, what colors I'm going to do. I'm really just working on this background right now. And just building up. So I might go a little bit darker. Show you a different brush too. Here's this one I like. So let's say I wanted to kind of blend this a little bit better. I'm going to go back to my white. This color, I have no idea how I got this color. So I'm not really that concerned about matching exactly. Nothing has to be perfect. I'm just, while the inks are wet, I'm really just blending. And I'm blending in a variety of ways, from either using a brush or using my fingers. Let me move that out of the way so you can kind of see the bigger picture. There's some underlying drips I had right here. So I was thinking of bringing this painting back to life anyway, because it's been a long time. And this is just a little demo, but what I'll do is I'll end up adding probably another flower here and having it wrap on the sides. I'll probably have that white line that I like to do, like up in here. So I'll be working on this piece probably after I'm finished with the other two, just for fun. Maybe I'll use it as my demo, and we can use this next week too. Just kind of hanging, you know, just working on there. So I'm going to go back in and grab some of that turquoise. And then really start to like look at my petal shape. So right now my hand is laying on my other hand for support. And I'm just going around my edges. You could use a smaller brush than this, but I'm kind of making it a little bit fat, my lines, because I'm going to end up blending. And again, don't wait till it's dry, okay? Because otherwise you're gonna have, which is fine, maybe you wanna have some lines, but just do your brush strokes and then use your, use your finger and don't worry about the petals yet because these are gonna have paint inside of them. And I'll do that at another time because the paint will be too wet for me to start working. You really have to let your, once you're done with your painting of a certain area, you definitely wanna let it dry before you go to it again. Okay, so here, just gonna blend that in a little bit. So they really are like watercolors. You know, watercolors are definitely, it's their own beast to work with, and I love watercolors. I don't think you have as much control on the blending with watercolors because they kind of flow into each other. So you really want to mix your colors first. But I do like how you can just take, you know, 2 or 3 color inks and blend them together. And you don't really need that many inks, you know, you just need a couple of the cool colors and a couple of the warm colors and white. You really don't need much more than that because the inks are great as just a mixing medium. And if you guys have any questions on them too, just put them in the comments and I will get back to you. Right now, I have no idea what you guys are saying because it's upside down. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of that cerulean blue. All right, so that's one little flower that has, let me show you. That's one little flower that I was able to build up some background. Oopsie. Whoa. So all that same sort of ink work was done in some of these areas too, where I just build them up and build them up and build them up. A lot of this work right here are inks, just using a smaller brush and doing a layer over it. So I'm going to show you a little bit of my pinks, and then I'll flip you guys around if you're still there. Okay. So here was an area where I don't know what I was doing and I'm not digging it anymore. This is a couple years old. So for today, I just wanted to show you how I could go into something I've already painted and just try to improve it. So I'm going to use quinacridone, I think I said it wrong, and some white. Okay. All right, I'm a messy painter. Messy. So here I took my chalk. Okay, where's my chalk? I took my chalk and I just drew a circle, which you guys probably can't see. But I put my circle because I kind of wanted to figure out like, what am I doing? Where am I doing my thing? So this is the opposite. I'm actually going to work on the petal over the background just to show you a different variety of ways you can use your ink. So I'm using my ink, nothing else, a little bit of that magenta, a little bit of white, a nice fun brush, and I'm going to kind of rework this flower that had lost its way. And hold on, I gotta concentrate. Concentrate. That's a little wonky. Wonky. We'll fix that later. So I'm using the ink to kind of rework how I want this shape to be. And then I'm going to go in with some more white. So you can kind of see how it's like watercolor. I don't use any water at all at this stage. No water. No water needed. Okay, so I'm literally just putting down this new layer, but it's a fun way to paint over things, and it's still a little translucent. It's not super thick, so you can pick up some really fun things underneath. Here's my, now where did that go? Hold on. Jeepers. Jeepers. Okay, here's another tool. I'm just going to use this pencil, like my skewer. So when your ink is wet, I'm scraping out some of that under layer. And I really don't like all my petals to match perfect. Who wants to match? So you can probably tell it's a wonderful way to paint. It's fluid. You can do this type of painting on a finished piece that you want to paint over, or you can do it as an early layer, or you can do it as a later layer. You could also mix up the inks with the paints. So I highly recommend that you guys play around and find some favorites. And then of course, if you wanted to use a bigger area and you can spray them, there's lots of things to do. So I'll probably go back and fix that. It's a little bit wonky, but you guys know what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm gonna flip you guys around. Back we go. Uh-oh, I'm getting a bad message. It says you cannot turn your phone while recording. Are we? Oh, whoops! I am backwards. Okay, are we good? Yes, I think so. Okay, hold on. Let me grab my glasses so I can see what the heck the layers intrigue me with the inks. Yes, the layers are. It's just another way to add some depth to your painting. You can work with lights and darks. They're great to mix with. Wait, I fixed my glasses. They're great to mix with, and they're so bright. And I think when I first fell in love with inks, it's what leads me to the brightness. I'm trying to think if I got something else to show you. This is a super old painting, you guys, so don't laugh too hard. Whoops. Okay, this was all inks in the background. So lots of bright colors, and play around with it. It's really fun, and you can use it for a variety of things. So in my class, we will be working with inks, not all the time, but I wanted you to see some in case you wanted to do a little bit. I'm gonna take these off because they're totally crooked. If you wanted to do some on your own, and I wanted to show you my bouquet today. Okay, so you guys know I'm obsessed with flowers. So my sweet peas are out. I'm so happy. I'm gonna smell them and smell them out to you guys. This is my mom's favorite color. So Mom, if you're watching, I think my three favorite flowers are sweet peas, roses, and peonies. And peonies I cannot grow. I'm super jealous. Whenever I see peonies on Instagram or somebody, Terry, you know I'm talking to you, so jealous because I think it's not cold enough in the winters here, which I'll take 2 out of 3 though, okay? So hopefully you guys are taking your walks and seeing all your beautiful flowers in your neighborhood, because I think at this time, what are we, mid-May? They're out there. And I want to do a little special shout out to my sister. It's her birthday. Happy birthday, Sarah. She is not a Facebook junkie, but she is a YouTube subscriber. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful week. Please let me know if you have any questions on this. And thank you for all of your awesome support and watching all my stuff. And I'm super excited to finish up those 2 paintings this week, and I'll be posting more about that. And take care, stay well. Mwah! And I will see you guys next week. Same time, 10 o'clock PT. Okay, bye.